Hi, my name is Connor, and welcome to the world of insects here at the Cincinnati Zoo. I'm going to be talking to you about the leafcutter ant. They're an amazing little insect, and so here you can see their nest and their complex tunnel system, and this is a great way to see their complex social structure. In many ways, it does resemble human society. So they're very interesting animals. They are considered eusocial, which is an animal that has caste systems, so work and roles uh, classified by typically their size, but also the type of ant that they are. So the leafcutter ant is a different type of ant that we have than any that we have here in Ohio. The leafcutter ant is found in Central and South America, so from Mexico down to Argentina. They live in tropical forests and fields, but anywhere with a lot of plant life to support these colonies. These colonies can be anywhere from tens of thousands, like the size of our colony, or hundreds of thousands. And in those larger end colonies, there can be multiple queens, but here at the Cincinnati Zoo, we have only one queen. Their nests are typically 16 feet down in the ground and about 50 feet across. Now, that 50 feet across is about the size of the length of a semi truck, to put that in perspective. Um, so the leafcutter ant in its native habitat is sort of a common animal, but it is also a very important animal, and it still needs to be protected because it has a good role in its ecosystem, which is managing leaf litter and keeping the forest floor clean. And I don't know about you guys, but and how you feel about ants, but I like to remember that ants and animals, no matter how small they have a role in the ecosystem. So, and having the insight that I have here at the Cincinnati Zoo, I like to stay away from their colonies because I don't want to accidentally step on and ruin any of that complex work that they've been doing. So, the leafcutter ants are very social animals, and there are two main kinds of leafcutter ant. So, you have the queen, and in most cases, there is only one queen. She can be about an inch in length, and she can live 15 to 20 years. She's well protected within the center of the nest, protected by the other kind of ant, which is called the worker ant. And they're within the worker ant group, their their roles are determined by the size that they are. So as they grow and as they age, their roles will sometimes shift. So when they start off, the smallest that they can be, which is just a tenth of an inch, they can be a farming ant, which tends to the fungus garden, or they can be a farming ant, or a worker, farming worker, and that is going to be tending to that fungus garden. They can also be a nursery ant, which will be taking care of the eggs, the larva, and the pupa leafcutter ants, and making sure that everybody is getting fed. The intermediate size is going to be the foraging ant, and they're going to be the ant that's traveling all the way 80 feet down this building and using their strong mouth parts to slice and cut leaves and then carry them all the way back. Um, and then the largest ant, the largest worker ant, is going to be the soldier ant. They are protection for the colony. If there are any potential predators, um, larger insects, or even larger uh, mammals, animals, reptiles, things that are getting too close to the colony, they will go out and they have very strong bites and they will do their best to protect the colony. And there's also a lot of them concentrated around where the queen resides. Um, Most of the other ants, the worker ants, will only live about 1 to 2 years. So when the queen dies, the colony at that point will start to die out because they no longer have a way to reproduce. Um, so the leafcutter ants, um, you may be wondering what they eat because you hear me talking about them carrying leaves. And you also heard me talk about the fungus garden. So, yeah, the leafcutter ants are not actually eating the leaves, they're just using the leaf to grow fungus on. So they use the farming worker ants use their saliva to create fungus. And they do like fungus, but it's not just any fungus will do. It has they do have preferred plants that they like to grow their fungus off of. So here at the Cincinnati Zoo, they really like red mulberry and willow, among other plants, and they're usually given 1 to 2 different plants every single day, and they are cut into about 4 to 8 sections to make foraging just a little bit easier for them, but also give them that variety every day. Um, and so you may have noticed that yeah, our tunnel system does go pretty far, like I said, about 80 feet. Before 2007, the colony here only had to travel about 3 feet to forage and return successfully leaves from the foraging area to the nest, only about 3 feet. But yeah, in 2007, this colony and its habitat was expanded. And that is to ensure that they have a much more naturally sized habitat in the wild. Their colony size can have to travel up to a quarter of a mile to forage from their typical forage site and then back. Um, so the 80 feet here is much better and natural than 3 feet, but it's also not as tough living as some wild populations have it. And that's just part of the zoo's effort to improve the well-being of the leafcutter ant colony. But thank you guys for listening about the leafcutter ants. If you guys have any more questions about ants or invertebrates or arthropods, I'll do my best to answer your questions. Thank you.